Hey guys, it's Matt with Meat Church. We're here at my home in Waxahachie. We're gonna break in the new mill scale trailer rig, and I thought we'd do something fun, a 3-part series on cooking briskets different ways. Stick around. For this 3-part series, we're doing 3 different cook methods. Part 1 is going to be wrapping your brisket in aluminum foil versus wrapping it in butcher paper. Part 2 is going to be smoking your brisket meat side up versus fat side up. And part 3 is going to be smoking a brisket with beef tallow versus not doing it. All of these are just going to be showing you the pros and cons of the different methods and being real objective about the differences so that you guys can choose how you want to smoke your briskets. So how have we set this experiment up? We have trimmed 6 44 Farms briskets all the same way, and they've all been seasoned simply with Meat Church Holy Cow. We've been smoking them overnight for 9 hours at 250 degrees, and all 3 sets of these briskets are cooked identical. So for part 1 today, again, we're gonna talk about foil versus butcher paper, and I wanna bring in buddies to help me with this cook. I've got guys that have worked at Texas Monthly Top 50 barbecue joints, so you know they've got the experience. And if we're gonna talk aluminum foil, who better to bring in than my buddy Joe Zavala, the owner of ZAVALA'S Barbecue in Grand Prairie, who wraps in foil.
I love foil, man.
Well, tell me about it.
So yeah, so the reason I do foil is, truthfully, I'm just lazy. Like, I am like the laziest guy in the world, and foil just helps you cook that process faster. And also, it's the way my dad did it, the way my grandpa did it. I just don't pour the beer in it before I wrap it up. And that's the main thing I try to do, just try, how do I get that quick cook so I can sleep or drink more beer?
Yeah, it definitely shortens your cook time. I wouldn't say you're lazy. You've got an amazing barbecue joint that everybody's talking about right now. But you know, when I started out in barbecue, I started wrapping in foil because that's just what I did. That's what guys in competition do. But like you said, it's a good tool because it speeds up your cook process, AKA the Texas crutch.
Yeah, because how many times have you cooked out for your family and it was supposed to be done at 7 o'clock and it's 10 o'clock and everybody's like, where's a brisket? And you don't have time to rest. So this way, if you have speed up the process, you know your cup gets up against the clock, then you can just go, wrap it in full, crank up the tip. It's gonna protect the brisket and you'll be able to get to the finish line.
Perfect. Well, I've got 2 briskets in this pit that we've cooked the same way. So you and I need to go grab butcher paper and foil. And then we're gonna finish cooking these things and we're just gonna talk about it objectively and just talk about what we like, what we don't like, and go from there.
Sounds great.
All right. I'm gonna be wrapping the traditional Texas way in unwaxed butcher paper, and Joe is gonna wrap in aluminum foil. And these things are ready to wrap.
Let's open it up.
And let's talk about why we know they're ready to wrap.
So here with the briskets, I like to wrap them in the fatties about 180 to 185. The lean's gonna be between 160 to 170. So just give a quick check. It's exactly where we need it to be. So I'm gonna pull this beautiful 44 Farm brisket out. And when you're wrapping in foil, you really wanna make sure you're wrapping really nice and tight because you don't wanna have any kind of air pockets in there because it gives opportunity for it to steam even more. Because of that, then you'll get ugly bark. So I just like to put it right in the, about 1/3 of the way, right in the middle. Bring the foil over, get it nice and tight. Bring the foil back over here. And then I'll just bring this side up, and I just like to make sure it's nice and tight. Get this piece over here. I know foil is probably really expensive right now, but you know what? If you want to make a good brisket, you're gonna have to sacrifice and pay that extra money for foil.
So I've got 2 pieces of 18-inch paper overlapped. I've spritzed it a little bit just to make the paper more pliable. And I like to put mine where I can like get the paper right over the top. Again, nice and tight against this, just like Joe said, same thing here on the little natural bend. Nice and tight. If you've ever swaddled a baby, here you go. As tight as possible. Pull it tight. Flip one more time, still remaining fat side up. And we're both ready to go back in the pit. We're going to finish these briskets. We're going to just keep running 250 degrees to make it nice and even. We're running a post oak fire, for those of you wondering. So we're going to...
So for myself, I like to have the fat
Yeah,
facing the
good
fire is
point.
the same way you like to do it?
Yeah, great point.
Awesome.
Put the point in closer to where the fire's coming from because it can take a little additional heat. And you can always rotate that if you need to. We're gonna let these roll. We're gonna go stoke up the fire and we'll come back when they're done. All right, guys, we've been cooking these briskets for about an hour and a half, and we suspect the foil wrap brisket is done because it's gonna cook quicker than the paper brisket, so let's check it. Or let's check them.
Let's check them for sure. Ooh, that foil looks like it's about done.
You're gonna check in both spots. You're gonna check in the point and the flat.
For sure, we're at 203 and 202. Let's see where we're at on this paper. It's about 180 and 175. So
Okay.
the foil
So the foil's
is
done. We need to pull that one, let it rest. That means we probably got 90 minutes, 2 hours left on the butcher paper wrapped brisket. So we'll take this back to the outdoor kitchen and we'll come back and pull this one in a little bit. We've got the foil wrap brisket resting. It's been a little over 90 minutes. We're gonna use our Thermopin instant read thermometer, the new Thermopin 1, and check this butcher paper wrapped brisket. Oh yeah, we're done. All right, now we're gonna go rest this one and we will see you guys. We're gonna rest them for about 2 hours total, and then we're gonna slice them, compare them, and we'll see y'all then. Okay guys, the briskets have been resting and it's time for kind of the moment of truth, but the foil brisket's been resting for about 3 hours on the counter. It's down to about 130 degrees internal temperature. This paper wrapped brisket has been resting just a couple hours. It's probably about 10 degrees warmer or so. So I'm ready to open them up and see what they
Let me
look
just
like.
get a quick little prayer, make sure it's gonna be okay. All right, we're good.
I feel like it's gonna be all right. We're at the meat church.
I hope so.
Okay, so let's just first see what they look like. And look, this is meant to be like real deal. What you see is what you get. You're seeing it for the first time. I promise you, these have never been opened previously. And here, leave that on the foil and bring it in here tight so everybody can see that. And there's
Bring it a
kind
little
of,
closer right there for you.
look at that. I mean, the obvious difference, well, go ahead. You guess first.
Well, I was gonna say you can see the little more like softness here
Yeah.
on the bark. This one seems like the bark came a little, tighter together on it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look bad though.
No, the colors look good. I'm
it
really
looks
surprised.
good.
And you can also see that in the resting process, we didn't lose that much moisture out of the brisket. So people think that, with the foil that you're just gonna make it go too hot. It's just gonna be a big pile of juice, but it looks like it really rested really
Yeah,
well.
and you obviously can pour that on the brisket if you want when you go to slice it. Bark looks great here. I mean, it was wrapped, so, it's, not like completely crunchy. There's some people that don't wrap at all, so you can still see that it's a little bit soft.
You
But
just look at that.
yeah, I mean, all in all, I think they both look great. So
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty surprised.
I think it's about time to slice them. Well, since you're the guest of honor, I think I'm gonna let you have the honors of slicing these briskets and deciding what we're gonna try and make our determinations.
I'll try to cheat a little bit and throw some of this good.
Okay, fine. Well,
Juice on it.
two can play at that game. Oh, I'm missing.
Oh, you got a little more than me.
All right. Well, hey, guess what? Little bonus for our friends at home. We're actually going to bring a third person in because we want this to be unbiased. So let's welcome our buddy Johnny, owner of Goldie's Barbecue in Kennedale. What's up, man?
Doing good, doing good.
Appreciate
I'm
you
excited to try
being
some
here.
brisket.
Yeah.
So here we have the full brisket that I'm about to slice up, and then here we have the paper brisket. So we're gonna cut right into it.
Let's see.
I'm kind of nervous. I can't tell you the last time I cut a brisket.
What, 2 days ago? Man, it's Texas. These flies know what's
Wow.
up. Oh, look at that juice.
I don't, you don't even have to squeeze it. Like,
Yeah, it just like ran right out.
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
what full does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definite benefit of that.
And
True,
then
very true.
let's get this one right here.
You're trying to find just like the perfect place.
I know. Here we go.
Wow.
A little more. A little more.
Okay.
That's that 44 Farms brisket right there.
Yeah. So let's get a piece of these leans. That's how we're gonna know if this brisket's good or not.
Man,
Oh,
my gosh.
look at foil.
it doesn't look like it's gonna suck. Team
No.
Foil coming in strong.
So let's get this one of this over
All
here,
right, how
paper.
does Team Butcher Paper do?
Sorry about that. Let's get this better.
Wow.
So, I don't know. I'm being a little biased, but it looks like the foil has a little more juice in there.
Yeah,
It does, man.
Right
It's-
there in the middle. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, that looks like we got the leader in the clubhouse over here
All
on
right,
the
let's
foil.
get this up in threes and kind of see what we think about it.
We should have done a blind taste test.
All
I
right.
don't, I don't know if he goes.
So these are the foils right here. You want to try that out first?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this middle one, and
It's good. It's definitely juicy.
Wow.
the bark's a little soft though. But
Yeah, it's a little wet on top.
it is.
It's a little wet. Yeah.
But the fat feels like it's rendered pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's good. I like it.
Wow. So, if you don't have a lot of time and you need makeup time, use foil. Like,
And I'll tell people it's a great way to start. If you aren't confident in your brisket or you've been drying them out, wrap it in foil. You're not going to dry that out, clearly.
and I think it's about hour and a half difference from foil to paper on the cook time.
Yeah, if you're in a rush, that's the way to go.
So let's try this paper one now.
Bark's a little more firm on that one for me.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this because I know there's a certain point where you're not supposed to get any more smoke penetration, but this one has a little bit of just a slight more smoky taste to it.
I completely agree.
Definitely. A little bit smokier.
Wow, those were
Yeah,
really
I mean,
nice.
obviously the foil would block out that smoke after you wrap. But man, they're both, I mean, well, here, what do y'all think?
They're both super good. I mean, they're both really, really good. Like,
I think if I had time, I would definitely go paper because it just kind of added a little other taste to
Yeah.
it, especially if I was in my backyard. But at the restaurant, we just have so many briskets we have to cook. That's why we go the foil method.
Well, we got a little something special for the viewers at home because one thing about you and your barbecue joint, ZAVALA'S Barbecue, you actually wrap in foil like we talked about earlier, but when you go to the rest stage, you do something different.
Yeah, definitely. So we definitely wrap in foil about hour 10, 11 when it's about 185-ish. Then we crank up the heat to about 275, 300 just to get the cook done. But we really want to bring that bark back to what you're getting that feeling when you're cooking with paper. So we pull the briskets off when they're done. And before we put them in the rest stage, we wrap them in paper. I know it's an extra step.
So you've rested this whole time in paper versus wrapping in foil.
Yep, so this one's going to have a little tighter bark, and let's give it a
Well,
look.
let's see it. I mean, you
best of
say
both
it's going to
worlds.
have tighter
Yeah.
bark.
best of both worlds.
Hopefully I'm not full of shit. So. Crap, but we'll find out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you could definitely see that the bark came back together on this one.
Well, that's great. That's super cool. Like you cooked it quicker,
Yep,
but you kind of got bark that was more superior than this middle brisket that way.
for sure.
That's a super good method. I'll be honest with you, I've never done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
just-
haven't tried
today.
it either.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that, you just always learning. I'm going to learn some stuff from you today and, just try to get better. But sometimes you've got to find those little tricks that help you get to that time zone that you really need to get to.
Man, that's half the fun in cooking. I change stuff all the time, and that's why we tell people in Meat Church congregation, our way's not the right way. It's just the way we did it today. So I really appreciate you sharing that tip with us. I know everyone's going to think that's super beneficial. I think this is the year of the fly, by the way, in Texas. You're cooking brisket in the Meat Church outdoor kitchen. These dudes know what's up.
But
Yeah.
this actually kind of shows you it doesn't matter what method you choose. It's also going to come out good.
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
what you prefer.
Absolutely.
Totally. Well, do me a favor, guys. Tell everybody where they can find you because you're huge resources.
Yeah, for sure. ZAVALA'S Barbecue, we're actually located on Brisket in Maine in Grand Prairie, Texas.
At the corner of Brisket and Maine?
Yeah.
Are you making that up?
No. It's like the only place in the United States. Like, we're literally located on Brisket Lane and Main Street.
I'm moving there.
Yeah, you can follow us on all social media. ZAVALA'S Barbecue, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Johnny, who's a new YouTube sensation.
You can find me at Goldie's Barbecue pretty much every weekend working. And then you can follow me on Jerby Barbecue on Instagram, JIRBY, Jerby Barbecue. But yeah, thank y'all so much for having me.
And I really
this is-
appreciate y'all coming. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Y'all are a lot better at barbecue than me, so I appreciate moving over here into the host role. Well, guys, this was part 1 of our 3-part brisket series. Be sure to like and subscribe because next week we're going to be coming with part 2, which is a video where we're going to show you the differences in cooking a brisket meat side up versus fat side up, or what do you call meat side up?
You mean upside down?
Yeah, upside down, exactly. Restaurant barbecue, you guys have never heard of cooking a brisket meat side up, so that's going to be a great episode. Can't wait to show you all that. So thank you all for being here. We'll see y'all next time.